This is episode 6. Don't think, just do. I'm Mark Denny. I love movies and I'm all about the movie going experience. So much so, I had to create a show called The Weekly Reference just so I can have a place to geek out a bit. If you found this on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, I really appreciate you checking out the show. On this week's episode, I'm bringing back a little segment I used to call Mark's Top 5. I'll add context to that a little bit later. We got to talk about Fantastic Four, and I just saw F1 the other night, and I got to share my thoughts about it. So let's get into it. So Mark's Top 5, let me give you a little history on it. Back in 2017, I had started a show called Mark in the Movies, and I was supposed to do like a weekly show, covering 5 news stories that I thought were awesome from the week. So I decided to bring it back for this show just so I can cover a little more ground. As always, try not to waste your time. So after I recorded Friday's episode, big news dropped. Hollywood Reporter reported that Jon Bernthal has officially joined the cast of Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is exciting news. Jon Bernthal is a fantastic, phenomenal talent. Like, he's awesome. He's great as Frank Castle / The Punisher. And now we're bringing this R-rated character into a PG-13 world with Spider-Man, which, yeah, they can push the boundaries all they want with PG-13. And they can push as far as they can, but it's also Spider-Man, so it has to be an accessible movie at least, right, to all ages. And yeah, so we'll have to find out if he's going to be a friend, if he's going to be a foe. And also, does Daredevil Born Again season 1 and 2 have any impact? Are we finally getting a little bit of an idea that these street level characters, although they may mainly live on TV, there's a possibility they can interact with Spider-Man? You know what I mean? They all live in New York. There's got to be some cross contamination there. I'm just saying. And then also the weapons. New Line dropped a weapons trailer. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this one. This one comes out in August, I believe. It's starring Josh Brolin, directed by Zach Krieger. I'm not familiar with Zach, but I am familiar with Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin's like Jon Bernthal to me. I get excited whenever he shows up. He's a great actor, great talent. And the idea, the concept of one classroom going missing feels such like a Steven Spielberg sci-fi movie, but this one definitely has horror elements. Like, so I'm not much of a horror guy, but I am intrigued in this movie. So I'm curious what you guys think about that. Blumhouse, Lee Cronin's The Mummy just wrapped filming. This one I'm really intrigued with. Like, I don't know if I have a feeling it's going to follow more in the footsteps of the 1932 film. But I grew up on The Mummy, right? Like the Brendan Fraser one, The Mummy Returns. And those were exciting times. That movie was that balance that I never knew I wanted. Was a little bit of horror, a little bit of action, the action adventure. So I don't know if they're going to lean towards the action adventure part of it, or they're going to lean into the horror aspect even more so. I don't know, but I'm curious. At the moment, it comes out in April 17th, 2026. That's when it's slated. Kind of feels like it's supposed to be an October movie. I guess we'll have to find out if they decide to push it back. But I'm really looking forward to a trailer to get a better idea of what to expect. And these monster movies are coming out of the woodwork. You got Bride, you got Frankenstein. So this is just pretty awesome, like film history catching up to today. So then Paramount dropped a trailer for Roofman, which stars Channing Tatum, directed by Derek Cianfrance. Sorry if I messed up your name. This one has Logan Lucky vibes, and I love Logan Lucky. I like seeing Channing Tatum in this type of role. He does a really great balance when he's bringing these kind of characters, these down on their luck type of characters to life, and also a little comedy mixed in. I think that's when he's at his strongest. So, and then lastly, the big news. The news that put a smile on my face, the news that made me feel like I'm giving a handshake to my best friend. Denis Villeneuve. MGM and Amazon Studios had announced Denis Villeneuve is not in talks. He's going to direct the next installment of James Bond. Daniel Craig's era is over. He did a fantastic job. They made sure that was going to end. It ended. And now we're on to something else. I just want to read Villeneuve's comment real quick. He said, "Some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to 007. I grew up watching James Bond films with my father ever since Dr. No with Sean Connery. I'm a die-hard Bond fan. To me, he's sacred territory. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many new missions to come. This is a massive responsibility, but also incredibly exciting for me and a huge honor. Amy, David, and I are absolutely thrilled to bring him back to the screen. Thank you to Amazon MGM Studios for their trust. Awesome. Awesome. And I saw Josh Horowitz a little interview, and like Denis is a fan. He's a childhood fan of this. It's like, man, what an opportunity. You go, man. Go do your thing. You know scope and scale. You know action. Bring this, revitalize this Bond. Give us a new great actor to portray this character, because I have some of my favorite movie going experiences have been related to James Bond. A lot of the Bond movies in the 90s came out in November. My birthday's in November. My mom would take me to go see him. So I got to see Pierce Brosnan on the big screen, and it was incredible. So I may not be the biggest fan of the series, and he may not be my favorite character, but I'm always excited to see what the next chapter is for him. Fantastic Four. Listen, I don't sing. That's why I do this. No, I'm just kidding. But Fantastic Four First Steps is upon us. It's almost here, July 25th. It stars Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Ebenos Baccarat. Sorry if I mess up your last name. Directed by Matt Shackman. And we finally got our final trailer. And guess what? It's the best one yet. This is how you do it. You want to sell tickets, you give us more stuff in terms of story elements, the stakes, show us more interactions between the characters. It seemed like the trailer, I bought into their relationship, I bought into their family. Show us more of the powers. We finally get to see Reed stretch even more and see everybody else shine brilliantly. I'm excited about that. And that score has and will always be a home run. Thank you, Michael Giacchino. It's fantastic. I'm pun intended. It's amazing. I love the vibe of it, the 60s vibe of it. It's perfect. It sets the tone perfectly. I'm getting Captain America First Avenger vibes. I have been ever since they started promoting this movie. And I feel like they're going to care about these characters as much as they cared about bringing Cap to life. Now, I'm wondering, of course, how is it going to connect to the multiverse? We're in the multiverse saga right now. We're right towards the end of it. How's it going to connect to Doomsday? Because it's supposed to lead into Doomsday. Okay, that's a lot of big questions. But the Thing has a beard. Now, at first, I was like, wait a minute. Is he a variant? Like, maybe that's what their intention is. But then I realized Franklin's born, so there's got to be a time jump, right? Something bad happens enough for maybe, the end of the first act, and they don't know how to beat Galactus or whatever the case may be. And they end up going through this, Franklin comes, Thing disappears for a bit, grows a beard, comes back. Who knows? I had a lot of good time, a lot of fun with them trying to get him to say it's clobbering time. I thought that was a nice touch. I thought it was a really fun, playful thing. And of course, he's going to say it. So I posted a poll on Instagram for the trailer, yay or nay. And 67% voted yay and 37% voted nay. So in terms of my audience, it's a little bit lukewarm, this film, right? It's positive, but it's like, I don't know if a lot of people are excited, and I think they should be. Like, I've been excited since they announced it. I've been excited since the first trailer. I really, really like what I'm seeing. And so I decided to go down a rabbit hole and I looked up some projections, because right now the movie comes out on July 25th. The projections are $125 million to $155 million. That's where it's kind of sitting right now. Now, I mind you, I'm a novice when it comes to box office projections, so just bear with me. What I found was interesting is I decided to go to Box Office Mojo to see what other Marvel properties opened in that range. So the list goes as follows. Captain Marvel opened to $153 million. Now, these are all, I'm just rounding the big number. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 opened to $146 million. Love and Thunder, that's Thor's movie, the fourth one, $144 million. Then Iron Man 2 opened to $128 million. And Thor Ragnarok opened to $122 million. So all those movies opened in the range that they're projecting Fantastic Four to be in. Clearly, a lot of those are sequel films. The sequels had bigger openings because they benefited off their predecessors, right? The first one came out, was a pleasant surprise. The word of mouth got around. They made a sequel. Boom! The sequel did even better in its opening weekend than the first one did, or second or third, or whatever the case may be. Captain Marvel is the only outlier. She's the only one that is it's sitting high at $153 million for the opening weekend. I think it made $1 billion overall, or close to that, or over that. I don't know for sure. But it was also Marvel's first female-led MCU project, and it had an extra benefit of opening or releasing in between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And not only that, Marvel Studios, or the MCU and overall, had a really strong reputation, at least stronger than what it is right now. So, okay, it's interesting to see all that. Captain Marvel is also a period piece. So was Captain America: First Avenger, and Fantastic Four is a period piece, just in a different universe. Obviously, a more futuristic and groovy '60s. But yeah, Fantastic Four has to establish itself as not only just a standalone film, but also an MCU product. It has to exceed expectations due to previous attempts. The bar's low, so as long as it beats those, we're good there. And it has to gain the audience's confidence. No, it doesn't have to be better than the best MCU projects, although it has to contend with the perception of Marvel's first family, right? Based on the other attempts. And at minimum, continue the quality set by Thunderbolts. We'll know more or less when we get closer to July 25th. F1 is finally here. It comes out this weekend. And guys, just go see it. I'm not going to bury the lead here. Go see it. It's worth your time. It's worth your energy. It stars Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Javier Bardem, Kerry Condon, directed by Joseph Kosinski, that he directed Top Gun Maverick. Listen, I want to attack this review in terms of let's go from the angle of the criticisms that are heard the most online, because you know me, I like to look at people's reviews and listen to them and just hear their thoughts. It doesn't change my opinion. If anything, it enhances how I feel. So some of the criticisms: the story is cliche, right? We've been told this story many times. The length, it's too long, 2 hours and 33 minutes, 35 minutes, I think it is. Okay. In regards to time, to me, it was perfect. A perfect amount of time. Like, you know how sometimes you go see a movie and you're like, I wish I could be in that world a little bit longer? I didn't feel that way. But I also didn't want to not be in that world any less. Did I say that correctly? So, like, in terms of the length, I thought it was perfect. I was satisfied when I left my movie theater experience. Like, I was like, wow, that was plenty of time. I didn't need any more, and I didn't need any less. Thank you for that. It was a good time. Is the story familiar? Yeah, absolutely it is. You got the old dog and the new dog, and they're teaching each other tricks. It's a sports movie at the end of the day, so there's a lot of tropes that are going to be repeated. But what matters, did you cast right? Are these characters engaging? Check box. You got great actors. These characters are entertaining. All of them they all have their thing, their objective, and I think that's really nicely done, really nicely told. And yeah, so you get to build upon that. I love that. Love that. Am I immersed? Did you do something new? Yes, these racing scenes are exhilarating. The relationships that get intertwined in the different approaches from each character, like, yeah, I bought into everything. I'm not a big sports fan. I really am not. I love movies about sports though, because I get to follow somebody that I end up caring about and seeing how they interact with others. And I kind of get a love vicariously of the sport right through the film that I'm watching. So yes, it delivered. I was fully immersed. Every sequence, the screen from top to bottom was filled. Loved it. Did you get an incredible score made by Hans Zimmer? Yeah, you did. Yeah, Zimmer's back, baby. And guess what? He does a nice job. He does an amazing job. The score is amazing. Is this a dad movie? Absolutely. Did I love it? Absolutely. Are you not entertained? That's what this movie's purpose is, to entertain you, to put you in a world that you've never been in, put you in this driver's seat and feel like you're driving and feel the intensity of every sequence. Yes. Is it reminiscent of Top Gun Maverick? Yeah, you got, Top Gun Maverick, Pete Maverick Mitchell is the pilot, Sonny Hayes is a driver, right? That's what they do. I'm really jealous of that. You got the old versus the young. Of course, but it works. The racing is exhilarating. I like the character moment, the interactions, the comedy, the everything. It was such a good experience. My theater was interactive with it, laughing, clapping, all that stuff. I really liked it. I really like it. And if I want to dig down and critique this movie, okay, I don't really want to. It's a fun movie. Like that's what you go to the movies for. You feel like you're in the car, and yeah, maybe a critique could be, you repeated some angles multiple times, and maybe you should have figured out ways to make each race unique to one another. And there's certain cases, yes, but there's also some angles that you're like, oh, you already used that on the last race, or you showed us all the stuff you have in your toolbox in the first race, and now we're seeing the same angle. So, but it was still entertaining. Like that's just like that's me nitpicking. Like no, 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 I'm not nitpicking, and I'm totally down for a sequel. There's been talk that what if Sonny meets Cole from Days of Thunder? Yeah, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt in a racing movie, 100%. I'd be so down for that. Anyways, long story short, I loved F1. It's my cup of tea. It's why I love movies and the movie going experience. It's these type of movies that make me want to be a part of the movie making process. My theater laughed, clapped, and had a good time. It's well worth it. And at the moment, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5, and it's raced towards the top of my favorite movies of 2025 so far. So if you're interested in it, go check it out. That's it for this week. Like, subscribe, comment, say hi. Let me know what you think of any of the news stories that I covered in Mark's Top 5. What's your excitement level for Fantastic Four? Or if you've seen F1, please share your thoughts below. Let us know. Until next week, you told me not to think.